Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Davina. I will be your host and take you on a journey with me as we explore the inner and the outer realms of consciousness and expand our awareness, and remember to have fun and play in this, what do we want to call this? Dance of life, or you can call it the game. No one ever taught me how to play the game of life. I had to learn the hard way. So I'm going to share with you some wisdom that I've gained over the half of the century, chronologically speaking. So today I have something fun for you. So I understand I am not going to be the person for everybody watching the video, so only take what resonates as truth and let go what doesn't sound like you want to take it. Okay, so I do have 3 things I want to share today. We're going to share some love, some more light, and hopefully some laughter too. That would be good, because we all need to laugh a little more. You know, it's like life is too serious. Why do you want to be so serious when you can have fun? The choice is ours. We just gotta choose which way we want to focus our attention. Today is a glorious day. Rejoice in the frequency of the sun, how warm it feels on your skin wherever you are. Now, if it's too much, it's too hot, you better shield yourself with the sun hat. Protect your skin if it's bursting with heat that doesn't feel so great. If it feels marvelous, take more of that marvelous in while you can, right? Recharge, refill your batteries with the free energy that's available in the sky. To be your host here, and we're going to cover a few topics that came to my awareness that I needed to share with you guys. So I don't know, I don't know how it works, but you know how it works for you. Sometimes we just hear this inner dialogue, and the moment that dialogue starts coming in for a writer, or even if you don't resonate with the word writer, the muse, you start hearing it, I have to grab a pen and start writing. I never know what I'm gonna write down, because it's almost like I'm connecting to some etheric voice that's telling me something, and I write it down. Sometimes it's very wise. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Where the hell did that come from? So today I'm just going to share really quickly and let you know what this is about. So we're going to go to some channeling messages, and then I am going to share with you something that's pertinent to where we are today in 2025. I'm going to read to you some poems, and it's in honor of my late teacher, a kindred soul named John Wilmot. I met him in Ireland, and he was our Woodland Bar tour guide at the first Celtic Goddess tour that I ever did. And he was so amazing. I wish he was still with us, but he had a thing where he took us to a park, a beautiful place in nature with trees covered in Ireland in the mossy forest and swans and beautiful energy. And we did poetry in the woods. And back then I was shy. I couldn't think of anything. Like, what? Oh my gosh, what am I going to say? I have nothing. I'm so sorry. That's what happened that day when we were in the park on the tour, and we were in a group experiencing poetry in the woods. I took a picture. There's a dragon tree. If I can find it, I might add it here. Okay, but I don't know. I'll have to see. So in honor of John, we're going to go ahead and do some poetry from my book that goes along with the cards in the tarot. It's called the Guidebook for Navigating Around the World Tarot. It can be used separately from the cards It could also be a guide. Like I had it set up where if a person needs advice, you can turn to a page and there's advice on the page according to what the card and symbols mean. So it has it's got for the poet, person who likes poems, the entire story is in this first page. And then I include 7 interesting facts about each location I came up with, I channeled it. It wasn't my information because I didn't know most of the stuff. I had to learn it. Let's get started, shall we? Okay, guys, I was going to take you on a journey outside near the woods and the forest. And then when I got outside, I realized that I waited too late and it's too hot. So we will do the poetry in the woods another day. Today, we're just going to have to pretend we're in the woods, because the real woods is hot today and I don't do so well with heat. I am from another place where the perfect temperature for me is anywhere between 59 and 89 degrees. That's a big, that's a big range. I don't do so good if it's over 95 or, too humid and it feels hot with bugs and stuff. Okay. So apparently this is the message I was supposed to share with you. So let me read it to you. So I wrote down, let us begin. We're entering the galactic cosmic crossroads with the knowing, with the awareness of the threshold. We just reached the threshold, the barrier to the upper world, perhaps. So I'm supposed to tell you we broke through the threshold of the synchronization of the lower self with the higher self, the cosmic gateway. We walked through the up level. We are as a collective. It's a lot of noises. As a collective today. It didn't happen today, but today, when you're watching this, viewing this time capsule in the year 2025, based on the last vlogs that I did on the cosmic sun with the flower of life weave pattern with pulsing lights coming through the weaves, the ribbons, and it was I learned that it was, I didn't share this, but I figured it out today, that the rainbow with this flower of life pattern was all of the spiritual centers were the most dominant. The most dominant colors in the rainbow were the ones we rarely see deeply into that realm. And it was like the inverted rainbow was so cool. Like the rainbow is on the outside and it opens up. And what I noticed was that the red and the orange wasn't as dominant. The purple, the indigo blue, and the brilliant green and brilliant peacock blue was more dominant, along with the yellow, golden sun and white light in the center. So what that tells me is that why don't we play this game where we imagine the world that has been inverted. Why don't we imagine it inverted in the opposite direction way, where the lower world stays where it is and we go up to the upper levels and embrace the frequencies of the peacock feather colors. Yeah, beauty. What problem shall we solve today with our innovative thinking? Our Aquarius minds. I was reading a book that a friend of mine in Colorado wrote in the 90s after she went to Egypt. And the character's name, of all things, was Alexandria. And she had red hair and blue-green eyes. And I resonated with the character, the archetype of her storyline. It was fun. She was really good. Julie, I'm going to give you some credit here. I did not realize I had your book all these years and never opened it. Write down dates and your thoughts and what's happening in the world. We don't want to lose this information into the future. As a time traveler, we have to remember the past, where it intertwines with the present, and then make way for the future. Okay, so I found a receipt in her book when I opened it, and this might be an important date for somebody. I don't know. The day that I bought this or had this receipt was I got gas for $71.06. It was unleaded at $2.59 a gallon. Okay, so I don't know why I'm reading this receipt out. I hadn't thought to do that. The date was August 5th, 2019. August 5th. So the cycle ended. So that's what I got. 2019. And today's 2025. 6 years ago? Interesting. 6. The number 6. I was reading her book, and she had went on an adventure to the Maya lands, and where she was talking about how they believed that we were in the 5th root race, and they left a calendar for the end of the 5th root race, which actually was December 21, 2012, which I was in Sedona, and the moon did some cool stuff that night. There was a rainbow around it, but let me tell you, it wasn't like anything like I saw in the sun on the 9th of September that I reported to you. Cycle from 2012, 2025, it's done, it's complete. The Great Awakening, the Day of Awakening, the Day of Reckoning has arrived on the forefront of the planet that we inhabit today as I talk to you. I decided, because I thought that I had already made it to the 7th root race, like way back in another life somewhere. Maybe in Lemuria was somewhere else. I don't know. I just thought that. I was like, oh, I thought I was already way past the 5th root. What are you talking about? 7's my lucky number. So I'm going to be working with the 7th root race. So if you resonate with something that's just not 5 or 6, because 6 was a great lesson for you. You learned how to balance responsibility with harmony and love and integrity. At 7, you're spiritual, man. You're so spiritual. But we're gonna up level. We're not even going to 5D. We're going way beyond that and more if you wanna. If you can. I don't know if we can, okay? But I am gonna play with it. So as long as you're still here and you got an imagination, let's just play with the construct of our reality. The whole point of having a mentor and teacher was that at some point the student is got to pass on the teachings in order for the seeds to be planted and carried on. So every teacher, unless they're selfish and want to control their students in a cult, wants their students to carry on and teach in their way. Which brings me back to the 7th root race. So I'm going to be working with those of you who have some abilities that aren't something that people know you got, because you can't tell them, because they won't believe you if you do. We're not trying to get validation. We don't need no... What was I gonna say? We don't need no separation. I told you I'm channeling. I don't know what else I'm saying. To be honest, let me get back to my material now. If I don't have it written down, I'm going somewhere else. Encoded, our job is to see that we as a collective group maintain our sanity through a world that makes no sense to us. We want fun, funky. We want to dance. We want to remember what it feels like to live free in beauty. The Renaissance. The green Renaissance is here. Before I continue, this is a perfect time to say, hey, I like your material. Support me, please. You don't know what kind of war and battle I just went through. You don't know. And I'm not telling anyone until this time is ripe. I like to write. Remember, write everything down and start saving. Remember what happened the one cataclysmic time. Oh wow, there's way more than one. But there was one that I remember somehow. Don't know, maybe I just read it in a book somewhere. I don't know how to remember it, but where you buried your scrolls in caves where it's dry so the material doesn't disintegrate and grow mold and disintegrate in moisture. Moisture destroys shit sometimes. Not always, because look at the caves. There's mammoth bones and stuff preserved in caves. But usually there's a method for preservation with salt or something that gets moisture out, and you enclose your message in your bottle, your glass jar, you put seeds in there, a message to future generations in case there's a cataclysmic event, and you save. So as a 7th root race, you're really concerned. Mother Earth is a part of your heart. Okay, you work with crystals. Some of you might be a positive potato, but I believe in you. Go do your thing. My daughter gave me that. Okay, put it back in my basket. All right, clear the vibe. What else? There was, oh, look, you gotta have your chips. You gotta have your poker chips. Play your game. I had put something else magnificent, so magnificent that nobody sees it because it's right in front of them. I put this beautiful acorn. You see it? This acorn. Save these things in your messages in a bottle, just in case, and bury it in the ground in a jar. Wrap up your preservation. The 7th root race is all about presentation. Sorry, it just came out. Preservation. This tiny tree has so much wisdom, the oak. Where you live, save the natural seeds. Just in case there is some weird cataclysm that nobody sees coming, you prepared the next generation to reseed the earth if some weird thing did occur. I'm honoring Shakespeare with my poet shirt, and I wish I could set this up where there's more cameras, but I'm working on that. I'm working on upgrading. That's why I need your support. You know who you are. Have you ever asked? Who are you, really? We know there are those who believe there's something because that's what they want to be. But when you're tested down to trials and tribulations that you never saw coming and never asked for, you can't even believe you're in a situation that's testing your strength. What the hell did I just go through? The rebel. See, you gotta have a little bit of play and imagination. Don't take yourself too seriously. People who are too serious are gonna be offended by your laugh and your fun and your play. Because joy, when you got joy, you got the divine in your life. I mentioned, be who you want to be. Today I felt drawn to share from my book that goes with the Around the World Tarot, a card that deals with spiritual rivalry. Where do we see that occurring in the world? So I'm going to read to you, my dear friend, my darling. I'm going to read to you a poem that talks about a place in Istanbul, Turkey, which is where I was going before some weird stuff happened to me. I'm going to read to you this.
Beneath the dome, in vaulted skies, where sacred chants and echoes rise, the Hagia Sophia's walls have seen the clash of faiths and the in-between, first built to honor Christ's name, a church of glory and holy flame. Conquest came and tides would turn, its altars changed as candles burn. The Five of Swords is a tale that tells of prideful fights and silent spells. Amid the strife and pain, the walls still hum a sacred name. Who truly triumphs? Who will stay when ego fights and hearts betray? Beneath a dome, a warning clear, battles fought through spite and fear. 5 swords pierced the air, yet peace was found by those who dared. Now standing as a bridge of old, a mosque's tale of truths retold. In faith's embrace, all battles cease as the spirit rises, bound in peace. In this place of faith and Lord, the swords of envy clash no more. True strength is not only in victory's gain, but in the will to unite through trials and pain. The 5 of Swords, number 5. Set against the backdrop of the architectural marvel, the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, with its transformation from a cathedral to a mosque and a long history of rivalry and conflict between different religious and cultural forces, embodies the essence of spiritual rivalry. Now remember, the Around the Road Tarot is all about locations around the world. So I'm teaching you about the history. You're going to learn 7 interesting facts to tell you about the location with every card. So please enjoy my book. You can order it off Amazon or directly. It's better to order it from my website because I don't give it less than $5 if you order it from Amazon. So if you order directly from me, I actually get a little bit of the money back that was put into it. So thank you very much. Advice. So like I said from the very beginning, was that if you wanted to use the book just as messages with advice for those seeking that, I have some advice after I tell you a little about what the location and the card means. When I want to tell you about the spiritual rivalry, I was inspired because I experienced it myself. I have experienced so much jealousy and envy within the spiritual community. So when I was coming up with 5 of Swords, I knew exactly what topic I wanted. And then what happened is the spirit brought me to a location that matched. To be continued.